Carvalho, Chapter 13. Ramya turned up quite soon. I told him my part of the story. He was surprised to see us interested in getting a village idiot like Mandana married. The whole thing, in fact, looked suspect to him. Sir, he is a vagabond. Maybe you like him much, but he spends all his time looking for beetles and insects and lizards and supplies specimens to the Sahib. And what use it is to us? My daughter will have to put a wet cloth on her stomach when she gets hungry. That's all. And they will all surely say that I put a handful of earth into her mouth by marrying her off to a man like Mandana. I was all along under the impression that we were engaged in unearthing the profound mysteries of the world of the insects. Here was Ramya saying that for what of better things to do we were wasting our time. I saw in a flash, as it were, that there was a point of view from which all our activities looked absolutely ludicrous. Ramya, you must know that the government pays 1500 rupees a month to your sahib only to study the insects. Please don't talk so lightly. Think why you are what you are today. Your cardamom garden was destroyed by insects and you became a pauper. He was confused. It was good that I had mentioned 1500 rupees a month. There came a perceptible change in the tone of his voice when he said, maybe you're right, sir, but the important thing is that my daughter shouldn't suffer later. You are an outsider and don't know him as well as we do here. I've known him from the day he was born. His mother struggled hard to bring him, but the son of a widow has been the same. Like the men of wild shepherd caste, he roams the forest with a catapult looking for birds and insects. Once he quarreled with his own people, left home and went away with men of the snake cowherd caste. Look, Prabhakara said, don't bring up all those old stories. I too had gone away with a circus company once. Did that ruin me? No. And Carvalho is a man who you can trust. Mandana is today a desperate man because you won't give him your daughter. Also consider tomorrow you'll have to go to some other bridegroom's people, beg them and butter them to marry your daughter. This touched him to the quick. What you say is right, sir, but he lives in that God-forsaken place, and sending my daughter there is as good as packing her off to a cemetery. If he had a job in the town, I wouldn't have worried. You know, he didn't get the job because he wasn't married. It is like the old proverb, till he's married, he won't be cured of his madness. And till he is cured of his madness, he can't marry. I suggest you put in a word to Carvalho and celebrate the marriage. Everything will then be all right. Yes, I know what will be all right. They say this also, that Mandana was born after the death of his father. I'm a poor man, and it will be a job for me to convince my castemen. In his own way, he was subtly turning the whole question into an economic issue. I stopped him. If you start listening to people, there'll be no end to it. You go and ask and see what people have to say of you. I said it simply, casually, the way folk say things. But Norway Ramaya sounded frightened. Oh, yes, they will. Only people who have daughters know what it is to bring them up. And you know, sins spoken are bad as sins committed. But I see they have spread it as far as this place. No, Ramya, nobody has said anything. I spoke the way people normally speak. I tried to mollify him, but he started shouting. Let them say whatever they want. You think I am afraid? No, not a bit. It is only thieves who fear bushes, not me. My words, spoken unintentionally, had opened up some hidden wounds. All right, I shall see Carvalho, he said, and then turned to Prabhakara, continued. What time Prabhakara continued, "What time will you be in your office, sir?" Prabhakara asked why, and Norway Ramya grumbled, "You let a man like me enter its door?" After Ramya went away, I felt disgusted with Mandana. I had never in my life acted as a marriage agent. Prabhakara and I sat together and worked out a plan to get Mandana a job through Carvalho. I said we had to do it quick, as according to Mandana, the auspicious days were running out fast. Prabhakara got worried and said, "Sir, I think we had better drop the whole matter. None of these people seems to be reliable or responsible. If anything goes wrong, Ramya will hammer us." I felt the same way, but thought we had to see it to the end. With Prabhakara and I went to the research center, I really didn't want to bother Carvalho with petty matters such as Mandana's marriage, etc. And so said, "Sir, Mandana is much depressed because he didn't get the job. He had, in fact, come to me to draft a petition to the minister." Carvalho was wild with anger. "Stupid man, an idiot. He comes to me and asks for the post of an attender. He has no sense of shame at all. My disciple, and wanting to become an attender, an absolute dunderhead. Sir, it is not money he is worried about. There are complex problems at home. All right, if he has, we shall solve them. I know what he should become. He is yet to learn a great deal and a lot more to observe. He shouldn't ask for an attender's post, and that's all. It's such a shame, I tell you, a real shame." I was floored. Prabhakara squirmed in his seat. I couldn't understand. This monkey of a Mandana goes about carrying pork on his back, and Mandana speaks as if he's an extraordinary genius. "I shall tell him the facts," I said to myself. "Sir, you didn't give him the job, and as a consequence, his would-be father-in-law refused him his daughter." Carvalho was shocked and sat blinking. Suddenly, Mandana appeared to him as a human being, with feelings of love, lust, jealousy, and anger. Till now, Mandana had been to him a rare species belonging to the genus of Homo sapien. Carvalho was worried there weren't any jobs, and he couldn't make Mandana an attender. If he did, how could he be friendly with him? At last, I made a suggestion. I asked Carvalho to send for Norway Ramya and tell him that if Mandana got married, it would be easier to find him a job. Carvalho agreed. Yes, if he gets married, he may behave a little more responsibly. When we came out, Prabhakara told me what the owl-faced Nagaraja had told one of his colleagues. How come Carvalho is so chummy with Mandana? What is there that's common between them? Maybe the old man lives away from his wife and has made Mandana his wife. The vicious man, like others, was suspicious of Carvalho in his own way. Prabhakara took me to his lab and showed me the enlarger he had built for himself. He also showed me macrofilms of insects, beetles, butterflies, and grasshoppers. I was fascinated by the beauty, the subtle composition of colors, and the structure. I thought I should not any more kill such creatures, but observe them with great care.